Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back with another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Wednesday the 17th, and it's a sad news day. If you haven't seen on my channel, and I don't know really how you could have missed it or if you haven't heard around, YouTube has decided to basically kick out all small and new channels. Channels now, if they want to even get a few pennies of AdSense, you know how I've always joked about, you watched an ad, you got me one millionth of a penny, or one thousandth of a penny. I mean, whatever the real amount was, it was never really calculable. You can't even get that now, and that inherently in itself is not the problem for me, because this channel for me has never been about making money. If it was, I would certainly shill and ask for Patreon donations and all kinds of things. What scares me is they're moving the goalpost, so they'll probably move it again. And they're very possibly going to take away other things. Things like, can I have end cards that link to other videos? Are my videos going to be recommended to anybody? The answer to that is almost certainly no. They claim up and down that non-monetized videos still get recommended the same as monetized videos, but we know from a fact that's not true. Well, we highly suspect it. Every YouTuber I've ever heard says they should see half as many views when their video is demonetized. There is something in that. And are they going to take away the ability to have more than 15 minutes of video per upload? Can I not put videos in private? Can I not appeal content ID things? At a certain point, their claim that by kicking out small and new channels from the YouTube Partner Program and thus making it impossible for them to make any money whatsoever, that they claim that's going to stop a lot of bad actors, like all new channels are bad actors. And it's not, and it really does nothing for the YouTube problem of Logan Paul or PewDiePie. This has nothing to do with big people that are causing controversies at all. You're probably going to see a flood of bots. I'm actively fine now if bots subscribe to my channel and watch my channel. Like, that was before this. I was happy with my fan base of 222 subscribers because I knew those were people that really liked my channel. But now it's like, well, let's just get 4 times as many bots in there. Let's just get up to that 1,000 just to make YouTube happy, even if they never watch any videos ever again. I can't do this channel if I can't put up more than 15-minute long videos. I will have to break up videos so much, it would be ridiculous. I really can't grow this channel if I can't live stream anymore. In the next 30 days, this might be the last few Hearthstone live streams. I can't move forward with YouTube really if they add new features and then only give it to the people that they care about. Best thing that can happen though right now is that people can make us stink, people can complain to YouTube, people can harass YouTube on Twitter, and maybe this will change their mind, but I doubt it will. And people can subscribe to my channel and other people's channels. If you see anybody's channel with less than 1,000 subs, just out of pity, you should subscribe to them now. Like, just subscribe to everything. Ruin your feed. Create new Google accounts and subscribe with those accounts. Like, that'll be the next thing, is there'll be tons of channels that are going to have subs purged, and when those purges happen, you'll be under the threshold again, and it will just keep happening over and over and over again. So, incredibly frustrating. No forewarning whatsoever about this as even a thought on YouTube. By the way, another video came out by one of the persons in charge of YouTube, and they hinted that they're planning on adding a third strike system, by the way. If you do get to monetize, but you monetize something that they later determined is not advertiser friendly, it seems like they're planning on putting a strike system in there too. So now not only can you not appeal, you would not be able to really appeal demonetization for ad-friendly reasons if you could monetize it all, but potentially your entire channel will get kicked if they find or decide that you're appealing and they don't like that you appealed. It's so draconian, it's so awful. But I don't want to talk about that this whole stream, so I'm going to try and leave it as much as possible. Some of the bigger YouTubers are happy for this, but they're looking at it from the wrong way, and they don't really realize that YouTube is going to become this dead, dying thing. And like, people already say YouTube's dying, and I haven't particularly agreed with them until this move. But once the big people burn out and stop making content and take a break, like Angry Joe did, like, there won't be any new channels to replace them. And when people get burned out of listening to the big people like Logan Paul and PewDiePie, which most of their fans are teenagers, like that whole teenage generation, once it grows up, is not going to be watching YouTube anymore. They'll move on, and there will be nothing to replace it. YouTube is setting itself up to be an empty shell of itself, with just old big channels with no new content coming up and no new channels to replace it. Hey, we got a new background. Interesting. If I don't get 1,000 subs, which is a high chance, I'll see if I can maybe join a multi-channel network, which will take 50% of my revenue, but would at least, hopefully, assuming any multi-channel network lets me in, it will at least allow me to continue to do what I was doing. But my big fear is this is just the beginning. They're going to raise the threshold, and I think they're going to start kicking out people and deleting their channels. And I can't back up my own channels. I have over 5,000 videos. I estimate it would be probably at least 5 terabyte hard drives worth of video. And I don't have 5 terabyte hard drives sitting around to re-download from YouTube the content. And that's just the video. That has nothing to do with like the information as far as the title and description. Alright. Nothing can be treated here, so we want to play Priest today, and let's do this Tavern Brawl and let's get into it. So yeah, my bigger thought is this is going to be the beginning of them deleting channels, and it may start with people who never even monetize their channels at all. People that just have little videos of their weddings and their kids, things that they were sharing unlisted. It's like, here, ProZ has, yes, demonetizing small channels. That'll show Logan Paul. Yeah, this has been in the works. YouTube creators are saying this has been in the works for a while, so it literally had nothing to do with Logan Paul at all. It probably had nothing to do with the Adpocalypse at all. They were planning on doing this, it seems like, for at least a year. Like, nobody is happy about this except for YouTube, and YouTube is an idiot for being happy about this. This is the one way. But I need to move forward. This is going to be one of these days. If I could tell a personal story here. A long time ago, not in a galaxy far away, sadly, in a long time ago in my life, I had a pet dog. And the dog lived for a very long time, and then just died of natural causes of old age, effectively. So, the dog died, and I went to work at the job I was working at then. And I felt like I was fine with it. It's not like it was a sudden or something that I shouldn't have seen coming type thing. But I can say that was I was probably affected and probably did a poor job. And it really would have been a day that I should have not gone to work, just called in sick. Generally, I never called in sick unless I was unable to actually get out of bed. And frankly, it was a huge mistake. People don't realize how much you should just kind of screw your employer before they screw you, like YouTube is doing now a lot. And if you don't feel like going to work, just call in sick. And if you get fired, whatever. I mean, it's easy to say that, but it's hard to actually do it. My point there is, taking a personal day is not a bad idea. And I didn't, and so yeah. So I'm reminded of the day my dog died, and I tried to work through it. I think in a lot of ways this is a similar situation. So I'm going to probably try to get into a post-game show, because I'm going to almost certainly continuously go back to the YouTube situation. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of question. In some ways, if my channel gets demonetized but people support me on a Patreon or that I set up, that's fine for me. But inherently, this is going to hurt all of YouTube, which is not okay. We don't need YouTube turned into an even worse site where less people want to come and view videos. But yeah, if my channel can go on after all the uncertainty is cleared, I'll try to go on. I might decide to take a slower pace. I've already kind of decided to take a slower pace. I have videos scheduled up to April. If those videos are all over 15 minutes, if YouTube says you can't release videos over 15 minutes, they might unlist, deschedule all the videos I've already scheduled. They might delete all the videos, or just make them private. I imagine they would just make them private, but like, it could drastically change the schedule on my channel. I really just don't know what's going to happen. Because YouTube did not really talk about any of the other features, and they have not announced any of the other features that came with the YouTube Partner Program. Whether we get to keep those, or whether there's going to be a new threshold that's just as high as 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. If it was an or statement, by the way, I have way over 4,000 watch hours. Let's see, discover a minion. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this. with this tavern brawl. Seems like I'm just kind of playing Hearthstone. Vice Commander Tyler says, hey, the video about YouTube already has 110 views. Yeah, because I did the thing you're supposed to do, and sometimes I don't do it on YouTube, is when you get news or announcements, you go live immediately and you don't do any research or make sure you've got all the facts straight. Not that I think I got anything wrong on that video. I did make one mistake on the video, certainly, but it's a real good example of why the 1,000 subs and the push to make everybody live stream everything isn't good for YouTube, because I could have, if I had been able to take my time, I could have done editing, I could have taken out all the uhs, the ums, I could have done multiple takes if that was the kind of content I created. Other people certainly did. If you compare that to like Jim Sterling's video, he made a video several hours later, and because I was out there very early, that's why I got 1,010 videos. But that 110 videos, I wish it was 1,010 views. And I'm pushing that video again, like every Facebook group I'm in, I've posted it to that and seeing if that will get more views. I'm trying to get more people to share this video than with everybody, because it's not just me. Like, if you hate my channel and you want me to get demonetized, you still need to hear the message, and you still need to subscribe to every other small channel that you want to support. But yeah, there's a guy named Goat that says hello on the chat. Hello. If that 110 people that watch that video, Tyler says sup to Goat. If those 110 people could get 10 other people to just subscribe to my channel, then I'm at that threshold, and we'll just have to deal with the next drama that YouTube decides to create. But that's kind of a high bar. Even like we've hit the point where I don't even care if people watch my channel ever again. Just subscribe to it and stay subscribed. It's rather funny that they want subscribers now, since they've devalued being a subscriber so much. I mean, it really is just catch-22 system where you're subscribed, but you have to click the bell, and even if you do click the bell, you don't get it. Go just typing, I think, gibberish. We got somebody else who's putting in emojis, and we got somebody else that's saying saw dudes. Alright. Moving on with video game news. A Polish website says that Cyberpunk 2077 will be playable at E3. I highly doubt that's true. Like, that seems really, really unlikely, because from everything I've seen, Cyberpunk 2077 is not anywhere close to being a finished product. It's barely even been started on, from what I've heard. So if there's some kind of playable level or Goat was using shorthand. He typed NM, which equals nothing much, and HBU. How about you, lol? I don't know what these shorthand text messages are. I never got into that. I was very late in life to get a cell phone, so I never got any of that shorthand stuff. Yeah. So almost certainly Cyberpunk 2077 will have something to announce, but at E3, but it is probably not going to be a playable entirety of a game. It might be a playable level. I want to just make sure I don't have any friend requests here on my European account. I guess that is the introduction of E3 speculation too. Oops. So I need to mute my Chrome. I didn't have Chrome muted. There we go. Fix that. Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition was announced, which I think is some kind of... Is this the Switch one? Like, or just the updated version of this? Yeah, it'll be available March 6, 2018. This is Tyler typed in KYS, which I have no idea what that means. Know your syntax? No, it's probably not something that complicated. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try really hard not to get back to the YouTube thing, but there's a lot of things rolling in my head. One of the things is, when you have like a big channel, you can, if you're a celebrity or you have any connection to a celebrity. Let's see. So these are like replays of tournament games that we're playing. All right. When you have celebrity, and say Logan Paul really did get a community strike on his channel, he could go create a secondary channel, and unless he's kicked off YouTube and YouTube specifically makes an effort to keep him off YouTube, he could go make a new YouTube channel anywhere and just link from his Facebook and Twitter, which, you know, Google can't control, and immediately get 50,000-60,000 subscribers in less than a day. So new channels and variations of channels of already existing channels, we're going to see a lot more of that, I imagine, where there's going to be a PewDiePie gaming channel, there's going to be a PewDiePie You Laugh You Lose channel, there's going to be a PewDiePie memes channel, there's going to be a PewDiePie commentary vlog channel, and that's not going to particularly serve anybody very well. It might be a little helpful if you only care about one specific type of content, but YouTube has always been sort of built around the idea of you watch some videos that you want to watch, and you don't watch the others that you don't want to watch. If, for instance, Gaming Grumps, who change games about once a month or so and play multiple games, made a different channel for every single game they made, that's going to be very difficult for people who want to just watch all the Gaming Grumps. So let's see, here's more information about the Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. There's a Windows Edition and a Royal Edition, and the Royal Edition is for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, where the Windows Edition for Steam, Origin, and Windows 10. So they're giving different names for different editions, but seems, I would hope at least, that you're getting relatively the same information and the same things. Let's see. I have to do this if I want to protect this guy. Let's see. Let me just reload this page and see if anything changed. Like, even in the comments of the announcement of the new partner program recommendations, it's just people shilling their own YouTube channels. It's like, sub for my channel, I'll sub to your channel. I mean, sub for sub is just gonna become getting notes that say, hey, if you sub to my channel, I'll sub to your channel, what has plagued the YouTube channels, and my YouTube channel in particular, for years. Like, I'll very often get messages and comments like that, and I have to filter them out. But now all of a sudden it makes sense. Now all of a sudden I kind of regret not subbing to people's random things, just in the hopes that they would sub to my channel, even though knowing they would never watch any of my videos. YouTube told us subs weren't that important, and then they came back and said, nope, we were lying. Subs are very important. It's important to have subs for some reason. Drinkbox Studios, I believe that's the maker of Guacamelee, is going to have a paid play testing sessions for Guacamelee 2. You can apply. Let's see. It's a short questionnaire. Let's just go through the questionnaire. First come, first services. It seems like, oh, you have to come to the downtown Toronto studio during a weekday working hours. If you're available, it's not great in the immediate future, but you'll be able to come later. We'll be referring this to the list for months to come. So if you're in Toronto, Canada, or capable of going to Toronto, Canada, then this might work for you. Otherwise, they want your name, your email, and then they ask, have you played any of our games before? If so, which one? Guacamelee 2 Demo, Severed, Guacamelee Origin Gold Edition, Super Turbo, etc. Mutant Blob Attacks, and About a Blob, and then none. If you checked any of the boxes, how much did you play? A brief description. I only tried the demo of Severed. I got through most of Guacamelee, thanks to for the Thule treetops. You jerks. Even they are admitting that the treetops in Guacamelee sucked. That was a very difficult, not worth your time section of gameplay. There we go. They changed your name, by the way, while you were playing, because you were playing as a famous person. Alright, so we got that, and we've got this new... I don't know why they're changing the background art right now. It must be for a tournament. Will I get a legendary? No, but I'll take an epic. An epic on the European account is not bad. A faceless manipulator is not a bad epic to get either. Let's disenchant this. Yeah, if anybody's at school, they should just go to YouTube and see if somebody has in any kind of school. Go to YouTube on every computer you can go, you get your hands on, see if somebody's logged in on any account, and just subscribe to channels. Like, half the people probably won't even notice. Go to libraries, just every computer, see if somebody stayed logged in on the YouTube channel. Okay, so now I don't really need to get all 3 of these done, but also I could on a Wednesday. It doesn't really matter. So let's play Priest and see if we can get everything done. Custom Priest. We need wins, so I'll take casual play. The rest of the question here is, when it comes to video game, how well do these statements fit you? And the options are strongly agree, disagree, an emoji that means meh or neutral, agree, and strongly agree. I am skilled in many game genres. For me, I would say I'd strongly agree. I identify as a casual player. I would agree with that too, though I'm not a professional. Competitiveness in games puts me off. Slightly agree there. You know, I don't like the idea of video games just being a way to be a macho person and say I'm better than other people. I like to be laid back, as one person put it about a week ago. As my channel is so laid back, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I kind of am. I feed off intense challenges. Not really. Like, and then the next question is, what's the best? Which of these best describes you? Man, if I could read today. I'm a professional or hobbyist game developer. I'm a current or recent student to the gaming design development program. I am a masochist. I'm not a masochist. I only play video games. You know, half the time I think I am a masochist and I only play video games. But I guess for me, I'd go, I'm not a masochist. I only play video games. I certainly could be a hobbyist game developer if I chose to try to go down that path, but it would take up a lot of time and effort, and I'm not interested in the frustration it would create in my life. No, I just want the frustration that YouTube creates in my life. And it would be a little bit harder for me to be a current or recent studio and game design or development programs. I could certainly apply, but I wouldn't do that just to be a paid, you know, quality assurance game tester in Toronto. Let's see. Moving on to the next bit of news, a new Xbox Elite wireless controller may be in the works, which is slightly questionable because what was wrong with the current Elite controller, and when could we get that down in price to the point where a normal person would actually be willing to pay the amount to get an Elite controller, because Elite controllers are like $80. There's a review on PC Gamer that gave it 95 out of 100 for the Elite controller. See, personally, I would say, with the exception of a fight stick for arcade games, which you can never really integrate something that big, and arcade controllers in general, which are huge, into a handheld controller for all other kinds of gameplay styles. I don't think we really need too much improvement. There's already a ton of buttons on your modern controller. I don't know what more you can do. Putting a touch screen on it, putting a touchpad on it doesn't make a lot of sense. I didn't like that. You really are just trying to get the buttons to work better. I wouldn't want like the X, Y, A, B buttons to be analog, where you press it a little bit or you press it really hard. I wouldn't want another analog stick. I wouldn't want another D-pad. I don't want a left 3 and a right 3 like the PlayStation 4 has. So As you can tell, I'm not a huge fan of the PlayStation 4 controller. I want a light bar that can be recognized. Yeah, I guess VR stuff starts to kind of make sense, but like the Vive controllers have 2 touchpads for each thumb, and it's hard to learn that and hard to figure it out. There's really not anything from the previous generations of controllers that hasn't been either abandoned for good reason or integrated into a modern controller, except for maybe the memory unit of the Dreamcast, which in that was a slightly interesting idea, but there's no real great way to do that. You probably could put a USB-C connector on a... Let's just come on. Let's do that. And then do this. And then let's just go ahead and do this. And lose. At least play the spells. Yeah, if there was a small amount of memory that you could put in a controller for save games, that would be nice. If there's an improvement on the rumble, so it's a little bit more, that'd be nice. There are speakers, I believe, in Xbox 360 controllers. Are there not? Like, just don't get rid of the headphone jack on them. Let's see. Let me look at I got an Xbox One controller here. Yeah, mine has a headphone controller, so keep that. Maybe have a different headset connector. Maybe you put a mouse scroll wheel in it. Like, that's something we've never really tried in controllers. But I think it has a speaker in the middle of it. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe that was an older controller. But that wouldn't add too much anyways. Yeah, it almost needs a subwoofer in the controller so it vibrates your hand. The real reason why Nintendo changes its controllers in such crazy ways is because if you don't have like full-on Joy-Con style motion controls, you've not really done anything different. And I don't like the Joy-Cons, and I don't think many people really like the Joy-Cons. So it may be a very iterative Xbox Elite. I'd prefer that the price of the Elite controller just go down and everybody get an Elite controller by default when they buy an Xbox One. Or at the very least when they buy an Xbox One Pro. Let's see, here's another one of those articles that doesn't really talk about anything. There's some new screenshots for Death End Request of a character named Rook, which is a mouse character with a bunch of junk on his backpack. Not really news. Apparently Tencent has helped the Chinese police arrest 120 PUBG cheat makers. From the outside and from being uninformed, I imagine corporations in China are just required to help the Chinese if the Chinese want to arrest anybody. And I imagine the Chinese want to arrest as many people as possible that are doing non-government sanctioned illegal things, just so they can, for the most part, shoot them in the head in public executions, which is what they do, just because life is cheap in China. There's too many people, and that's all there is really to it. So yeah, when you look at it from that perspective, and I don't know if this is exactly true, but if 120 people who made cheats for PUBG in China are in the next few months going to get shot in the head, that's not the happy-go-lucky story that you think it is, where you could say, yay, these cheaters are going to be punished. Moving on, Jim Ryan has been named the Sony Interactive Entertainment Deputy President. Ryan to work to further accelerate the PlayStation business. He was the head of global sales and marketing of Sony Interactive Entertainment and president of Sony Interactive Entertainment Europe. So he's just getting promoted. We had a story earlier where the current president, who did quite a bit to help grow the Sony PlayStation and turn it into the successful console that it is today, decided to step down after a long time. It didn't seem like it was really amid any real controversy or anything from what I recall, except for the fact that standards have been backsliding pretty poorly. And then I'm going to get back to YouTube here for a second and say, man, what's going to happen to all the video game players that were streaming their videos just to their friends? Like, all those features in the Xbox and the PlayStation 4, you can probably assume that they're all going to get disabled, and you won't be able to stream your own footage just for your friends. And if Facebook follows Stream, like right now, for Hearthstone at the very least, you can stream directly to Facebook. And I can stream everything to Twitch, but who knows if I'd ever be monetized on Twitch. And nothing is saved on Twitch, so that really ruins what I was trying to do. Yep. Just in my turn. Yep. So entire features for just an average player seem like they might be going away. Moving on, moving on, moving on. See, can I retweet my own tweet? Apparently you can. I'll do it. I'll retweet my own tweet, so I'll like my own tweet too. Why not? Just trying to get the message out there. Moving on. This priest deck has no cards in it. It's just built around playing priest cards. I can clearly see that's the reason. But I suppose that doesn't really matter too much. Just play spells and we'll get at least one thing. Apparently, a Twitch spammer faces criminal charges in Canada. The man behind the site that launched an attack on Twitch streamers last year could be facing up to 10 years in prison. The name is Brandon Apple of Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, is facing charges in connection with a massive spam bot attack against Twitch streamers that took place between February and May of 2018. According to CBC, Apple is facing a charge of mischief in relation to computer data and willfully causing multiple repetitive messages to be transmitted. I don't know if in the United States you could get away with that. Maybe the Can Spam Act and other anti-spam acts might cause somebody to be fined, but I think for the most part, with our First Amendment and freedom of speech codified as the most important thing above all else, like the way the constitutional law works, you could literally never get rid of the First Amendment without completely getting rid of the entire Constitution and starting over from scratch. So yeah, I don't know if you could do that in America. The criminal charges are separate but connected to the civil case filed in the Supreme Court that sheds more light on what happened. The lawsuit claims that more than 1,000 Twitch channels were affected by the attack, which saw 150,000 messages posted at an average of 34 per minute and as rapidly as 600 per minute on some channels. The petition filed in the aftermath of the attack via Ars Technica as part of an effort to determine the originer's identity. Messages contained, entirely unsurprisingly, racism, homophobia, sexual harassment, links to shock imagery, false implications of view botting, and soliciting child sex exploitation material. So he's not even spamming to do anything other than troll. Like, he wasn't even promoting something. Let's see if we can find a different priest deck. Do we have another one? Let's see. Come on, we gotta have something. Nope, we need to make a priest deck that can actually win. Let's make a priest deck. Just get rid of this paladin for now. And priest. And this. Let's see. I'll take this one, these two, these two. Take this. Take this. We only have one of these. Can we create another one? Sure. Light Spawn's a pretty important card to have. Take these two. Take this. Can't make another one of this. Just waste dust completely. Take that, see how that works. And then I think if I type in the word heal, I can find a couple of special characters that I'm looking for. I guess I don't have them, or maybe I'm not. Maybe you have to make this a wild deck to build what I want to build, which would be my old priest deck. No. Let's go into crafting mode and see if I'm missing the cards. I'm looking for light spawn, but you know, I guess I could just type in light spawn. That'd probably be easier. Light, L-I-G-H-T. Here we go. Yeah, Light Warden, I'm missing. And those are classics. And then there's another one that's like Light Warden, but I don't remember what it's called. So that's not gonna work. We're gonna have to think of something else. Take a couple of silences. Take a couple of heals. Take a couple of damage. We can do. Make spells cheaper. Do I have any giant really useful cards? Not really. And if I switch this back to standard, it can be a standard game. Good. I want everything to be standard. On the European account, I don't want to have to do too much. So the big thing, the big new announcement that apparently was going to blow everybody's minds, and frankly, I think they kind of are blowing my mind a little bit. The Nintendo is going to charge, I believe, if I saw this right, $60 for a bunch of cardboard. Not really joking here. These are cardboard items that have cutouts that you can fold into several things and then put the Nintendo Switch in and move the Joy-Cons around and do a bunch of crazy things. It's kind of like if Legos never existed and you wanted to make a building toy out of cardboard, but you wanted to bring it into a modern day and age. One of the things that's being made out of cardboard is a piano that somehow you play the keys and the Switch recognizes it. One of them is a fishing thing. One of them is a motorcycle. One of them is a bug that somehow can walk around. I assume this is with the HD vibration of the Joy-Cons. One of them is a giant box to make you a Transformer, which that's interesting because all the Transformer licenses just expired. I imagine what's going to happen is a lot of these cardboard elements are going to be reused to build multiple things, or there's just a lot of cardboard things you can make. Again, that Transformer is getting it. One of them is like a drum step that you would use to play a, I believe, bass drum. One of them is like a parrot. One of them is a steering wheel that you're supposed to color in and place stickers on these cardboard things and customize it as your own. This is really insane because it has very, very little to do with any video game or interactability, and it really is just trying to sell a toy. It's called the Labo, L-A-B-O, and they will have booster kits. So this is, I guess, the idea. It's something to replace the toys to life genre of like Lego Dimensions and Disney Infinity and Skylanders, although Skylanders I think is still around, so that one in particular I'm not super certain as to why they need to not just let Skylanders do Skylanders. Oddly, this Labo stuff has nothing to do with the amiibos, and I felt like the amiibos at the very least were a slightly quality product, and it made kind of sense to have something you could put on your shelf and show off. This is so early age. Like, this is only going to interest at most a 4-year-old, and I imagine this is going to be sold in a very, very small numbers. If Nintendo Power was still coming out, this is the type of thing like you would expect. Nintendo Power would have just had an insert one month that did something along this line. Health and attack to 3. Let's do this. And let's see, can I take control of a minion and then silence a friendly minion? No, not right now. So yeah, the Labo really blows my mind. Lego, and I notice Labo Lego there, and not too close of a difference. And see, Nintendo should just license its products to Lego, but they have a deal with Mega Bloks, I believe. But Lego has tried to do some things like this, and they're still kind of working on it, but it's never been this poorly thought out. Let's see. Take this. And then silence a friendly minion and draw a card. No thanks. Let's do this instead. And then this. And deal 3 damage and draw a card. And then restore 4 health for free. And then do this. And then I want to silence a friendly minion. There we go. That'll work fine. Like, it certainly, speaking of Lego, just on a personal note, like, I may very well get very heavily into doing Lego if my YouTube channel is just unattainable. Like, I may just not play video games for a while. When I started my channel about 4 years ago, I'm saying 4 years now. I was saying 3 years, but I think my number was off. I was just off taking a break of not really playing video games that much. I could see how the way this ends, if this does end, being so frustrating that I would just take a slight break and focus more on Legos, which would be very expensive and take up a lot of space. Well, hopefully he got a watch and learn reward off of that. And for my European account, we are done, so we can just move on to the Asian account. Darn it, I need to relaunch because they put an update out, so let's move on. There we go. Asian account. I think we'll probably only do one video today because, like I said, this is a day where I should just take a break. In fact, so much so that even though I'm playing Resident Evil 5 and so far I've been able to not have it affect me, it's probably a good day for me not to try to record any more of Resident Evil 5. Man, do I like Resident Evil 5? But I also kind of don't like it. Like, it's just a note-for-note copy. Interesting. Let the championship begin. What kind of card pack is that I just got? 3 games any class, 3 games with Druid. So if I trade this one out, win 5 Tavern Brawls. Seriously? Seriously, game? Is that what you're gonna make me do? It said let the thing begin, and then it showed me a pack I'd never seen before, and I don't have any packs to open. Okay, that's weird. Weird game. Hearthstone deck tracker just crashed. Hearthstone deck tracker, by the way, just loaded up and updated, which it hasn't updated in a while. There's this game called Neofeud, Neofeud, that looks slightly interesting. I'm gonna see if it's available on Steam though. I don't think it's available for Steam. And this is somebody linked to it directly, so I don't even know who was promoting it. Man, Nintendo Labo. It sounds like Nintendo's getting into dog breeding. And here's the Nintendo Labrador. Why not just call it the Nintendo Lab? Oh, because they're Japanese, and in the Japanese language, everything has to be 2 letters. They're basically a consonant and a vowel. Or in some instances, the TSU will be one pronunciation. So Japanese people probably can't pronounce lab. They probably say something like labu or labo. Like, Alright, let's close that. I do have Lego to do, so yeah, I'm going to take the day off and I'm going to put together a really big 1,000-piece Lego set and try to get my head away from this YouTube mess. That's the right thing to do, hopefully. And I'm hoping other people learn from my example here. It's like, when you get bad news, take the day off. Just let it sit with you. See if you can sleep on it a couple times. Call in sick. Your job's not that important. School's not that important. There was a time when I was in high school and I was riding a bus to school, and I missed the bus, so I said, whatever, I'll just go to school tomorrow and catch up on homework. It's not like any specific day in school was important to not. Boy, did the school not agree with that. They called my parents, and my parents were like upset with me. And I'm like, well, whatever, I missed the bus and you guys had already gone to work. What was I supposed to do? I went back to sleep. And they made such a big deal about it, but frankly, they were wrong. It's not a big deal, and the school is wrong. It's not a big deal. It's not like I was in danger of failing school. I had nearly a perfect record of attendance, and it's not like the truancy officer was going to show up at my door, although maybe they would have. But even if you, I don't even think a truancy officer could ticket you for not going to school if you stay at your own house, because you can just say, oh, for whatever reason. So my recommendation is, if you're a parent and you want to do something with your kids special, take them out of school for a day once a year. Who cares? It's not like they're really learning anything in school. Don't teach your kid that they are nothing but a commodity, and that their only value is when they go to school or when they go to work. That is the message that my parents mistakenly taught to me, is that you either work or you have no value, and that's something that a lot of people say in the United States or feel in the United States, and it's just totally wrong. Is that if you're not working, you're worthless, you're a bum. And no, you're a human being, and your value should not be connected to whether or not you're doing something for some corporation or being abused by some corporation. Epic Games announced a new round of Unreal developer grants totaling over 200,000. So they're giving grants to a movie that's coming out in theaters using the Unreal Engine. It's called Allahyar, Allahhyar, and the Legend Maker. It seems like it's one of those animal shows. So interesting. Yeah. Notice I'm playing as Pavel again from the previous tournaments. There's also one called Babylon or Babylon, Babylon, Battle Royale. Is this a movie or is this a video game? I think this is a Battle Royale game where you play as babies. That's interesting. As a joke, at least. Yeah. It's in beta. There's one called Blueprint UE, which is a tool that enables developers to copy and paste Unreal Engine 4 blueprints. Let's try this. And then there's a game called Claybook Early. Well, no, Claybook, it's in early access. I want to watch the trailer for this one because this looks like it's a clay-based game. It's kind of like Splatoon, but it's also kind of like Super Monkey Ball. So you're this ball of clay, but I think you've got to create the places where the clay rolls. And I'm not sure if that's super interesting or not. Let's go ahead and hit this one. And then hit this one. And then end the turn. There's a game called Genesis Noir. I want to watch this trailer too. Not a lot of news. There probably won't be a lot of news on Friday either. With this YouTube drama going on. At the very least, what they could have done is, if these small channels are so unimportant, they should look at the small channels before they kick them out. Or allow an appeal process. Because some small channels like mine, could give very good reasons why I should be allowed to stay, even though I don't have a bunch of subscribers. I have way more watch time. But clearly they just don't want to deal with anybody who's not big. Next one is a game called Halfight, Halfight. It's a 3D adventure game where players follow the steps of a young boy who strays into an extraordinary phantom world. And so basically it's a kid just wandering around the world. It's got an interesting artistic style because the kid's legs are a little short and out of scale of what you're normally used to doing. So frankly, he looks like a midget in his teenage years, or a half midget. No offense, and maybe that's the wrong term to use, but I forget what the right terms are these days for midgets. I think that's still what you're supposed to say. Next one is a Hyper Jam, which is a high quality, fast paced multiplayer indie game coming to Steam. Is this just Windjammers? Sort of. No, it's got weapons, so it's not Windjammers. But not terribly different. This one's a demon, so I could do that, but I don't need to. Let's just attack here and then end the turn. Next game was Rogue Universe, mobile strategy game. Not really interested in looking at that. And next game is Shift Quantum. Let's see, is this yet another puzzle game? Black and white puzzle platformer. Yeah. We got too many of those. This one does seem to have a level editor in it. But and you shift between the dark side and the light side, but no, I am not interested in yet another puzzle platformer. Just go ahead and hit this guy and kill him, and then attack here, and then what can we do? Should I draw a card? There we go. Next game is a game called Sinner Sacrifice for Redemption. This looks like this might be a AA, AAA game. Why they'd be giving grants? Why the Unreal Engine company would be giving grants? I don't know. Let's see. We can do this, and we can do this, and then we can give this a 4/4 attack next turn. So watching this trailer. Is this the Indian game? No. That was called something completely different. So we're seeing some beautiful rocky landscapes. And let's go ahead and hit this. And that worked well enough. It's kind of a Dark Souls-esque style game, action. Well, it's an action game set in a medieval style fantasy world. Who's to see if it really is Dark Souls-esque in difficulty? Like, do you need that difficulty setting to be a Dark Souls game, or can you just be a fantasy game where you roll around and swipe and try to do backstabs? Like, that's an interesting question. I don't know the answer to. From what I'm saying, this is pretty much a Dark Souls clone, which I don't think we've hit full saturation yet on Dark Souls clones. Like, we could have a few more. It'd be nice if people put slightly different spins on them. Next game is called Sky, S-K-Y-E. Let's watch this trailer. All of these companies that are making these games strike me as not particularly what's the word? They're not big name producers of games. They're unknown people. So Sky, you're flying around in these platform areas, but the platforms seem to have, sometimes you turn into a ball. You're like this flying dragon, and sometimes you turn into a ball and you land on the platforms, but for the most part it seems like you can just fly in front of them, and it seems they have some musical keys in nature as far as what you're supposed to do, because there's a piano you fly over that lights up, and there's a let's see what else. This guy's gonna do 2 damage to anybody with 2 things, so I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and that protects everybody except for this guy. And then end the turn. Yeah, I don't know about Sky. It seems like it might be a little too lacking in gameplay mechanics. I guess nobody's chatted for a while. Either that or my chat broke. Next game is called The Machine, which is an augmented VR game with cell phones. That's not going to go anywhere. And that's the last one on the list of $200,000 grants. And there was probably 10 games I just named in one movie. So 10 things in general, which makes me heavily suspect that each one of them only got about 20,000 whatever. So not big amounts of money. We already talked about that. We've already talked about YouTube a ton. YouTube is getting harassed appropriately, I think, on Twitter. Team YouTube at YouTube creators. Plenty of other people who work at YouTube. All of them deserve to be harassed politely, but all of them need to be told that this decision is bad for YouTube. It's a bad, arbitrary decision that should not have happened without discussion. You know, Jim Sterling made an interesting point when he came back and said, the idea of calling us partners and then telling us nothing whatsoever until they send everybody emails that here's your 30 days notice that our contract has been terminated and then you're not a partner anymore unless you work for us. That's not treating people like partners. That's treating people like exploited workers, and that's exactly what we are. They're exploiting us as workers, and now they're going to try to exploit us as unpaid workers. Because if you want to start a new YouTube channel, or if you want to get up to their level requirements, you're going to have to pretty much earn at least $100 for YouTube. And how do I get to that point? Because that might be a little confusing. Is the 4,000 hours of watch time means almost certainly you're going to have to run a new YouTube channel or a small YouTube channel in a way that it convinces people to go and watch other YouTube channels, bigger YouTube channels, and get ad revenue for those channels in probably $100 or more increments. So you're just going to have to be this unpaid intern until YouTube decides that you can, after that point, make money, and that's ridiculous. And that's just from the watch time. That has nothing to do with the subscribers. If their limitation was you just had to get 1,000 subscribers, that'd be different. Goat came on the chat and said he was still here. Thanks for letting me know, Goat. That's helpful to know the chat hasn't broken. Not really winning here. And I'm on the Humble Bundle. There's nothing on the Humble Bundle. Let me look at Twitch. My Twitch account exists, but I don't know. I don't know if I even want to run a Twitch service, because I don't want to make content that disappears. That's just not what I wanted. If I was going to do content that disappeared, then I might as well just play the games without streaming at all. Let's go back to Twitter, and then after this game, probably we're going to wrap up and go into post-game play. Let's see. So in post gameplay, at the very least, I need to get one thing done. So I need to either start playing Druid classes and get 3 victories with Druid, or get the 5 Tavern Brawls done. And I need to get the Tavern Brawl done anyways. So let's switch over to the America's account. Travis, by the way, who gave me You Don't Know Jack, no, not You Don't Know Jack, but the Jackbox Party Pack 3. He commented, and we kind of arranged that if he ever comes on and he has some friends that want to play, that we were going to switch over to playing that. I don't think today's a good day for that, and I don't believe Travis is on right now because I haven't seen him comment. But at some point, hopefully sooner than later, we will just have this abrupt change, and we'll switch from playing Hearthstone to doing the Jackbox Party Pack, which will be fun because I did want to do a better job of spotlighting that game than what I did just solo. So that's just kind of a pre-warning for something that may never happen. Very possibly. Awesome Games Done Quick is done. And I don't think there's really anything else to say about it other than it raised a bunch of money for hopefully cancer research. There's a report that Microsoft wants Forza Horizon developers to resurrect Fable. We'll save that for Friday. Fable getting resurrected is not a terrible idea. There's a big Battle Royale map for Fortnite Battle Royale update coming out tomorrow. Let's see. YouTube advertisers covers YouTube's updates to monetization, so I can read what they're telling the advertisers. The quote in the picture, it's different this time. It feels like a whole new level of commitment from Eric Reynolds, CMO of the Clorox company. So yeah, maybe the advertisers are super happy, and maybe this actually does fix the adpocalypse for the few channels that are still allowed to monetize. Let's see. And then ProZD, one of the big up-and-coming YouTubers that does the 30-second videos usually of funny reaction things. He responded to YouTube creators at YT creators and said, "Ah, yes, demonetizing small channels. That'll show Logan Paul." But I think I already mentioned that. Yep. Tweets are kind of coming in sort of fast for me today, but none of them are news. So, yeah, like I said, this is a bad day to record. This is a day on bad news, and when you get bad news, you should just try to take the day off. And for me in particular, that kind of sucks because I've not been very good about getting content recorded lately at all. I've been slightly ill, not at 100%, you know, with the winter weather and the coldness and flu season and all that. Like, so I've been pretty bad about getting a good 8 hours of streaming anyways. Like, a goat says, all you need to do is have to be an ex-Viber. Viner, I thought, is what they were called. And then you automatically get on... yeah, he corrected his spelling later. You automatically get on YouTube's good side. Pretty much the case. Like... And Vine is dead, so those Viners didn't, like, bring Vine to great success. But it really comes down to the people running YouTube and their stupidity. Like, them latching on to the wrong people. Well, like I said though, this is a great point to go into the post show. That's it for this recording. As always, well, for a while, I suppose in the future, if I really am not monetized, I may stop saying the ending here. I don't see a real reason to do that, but maybe. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe. Now I'm asking you to get everybody else to subscribe. If you see any computer, any cell phone, pick it up. Go to search Rydo on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel on that person's phone. Like, it doesn't matter if they don't watch another video now. It doesn't matter if they never even realize that they are subscribed. Just get the numbers for the numbers' sake. Maybe in a month or two, a lot of those people will unsubscribe, and then I'll be right below the threshold of 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. Comment, of course. Yeah, comments still help. Shares still help. Watching every second of my videos sort of helps. Because that was supposed to promote my videos, and clearly YouTube failed to promote my videos. Like, I tried as much as I could to run my channel and not fill it with just shilling and just advertising people and getting people to subscribe. And it was, in my opinion, YouTube's discovery engine's job to put me in front of people who would actually like my content. And I really feel like they failed. Goat says, sure, see you, mate. Make sure you friend and follow me on the Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr sites, because if I lose complete and total access to my channel, that'll be the place where I can at least get messages out. Make sure you have some non-Google related way in which you're following me, because that very well may be the announcement that I'm on Twitch now, or I'm streaming directly to Facebook, or whatever I will have to decide. Yeah. Goat says, sure, see you, mate. Yep. But yeah, so follow me on Google Plus too. That's sort of helpful, but not really, because if they delete my channel, they probably will delete that too. And that's my real fear. That's where I come from this, is they're not saying they're deleting small channels now, but I suspect eventually they are going to just start deleting small channels, and all the content is going to go away. That's it for this recording. Stay tuned for the post show. As always, yeah, I'm not going to wrap up again. Thanks for watching. Bye.